Namaskar, good evening. You are watching Rajya Sabha television. I'm Smriti Rastogi with News Tonight. Let's begin the bulletin with the top headlines. Indian economy registers highest ever growth in the last 7 months. GDP surges 7.7% in the fourth quarter. Strong showing by agriculture, manufacturing and construction sectors. GDP figures at 6.7% for full year. Prime Minister Modi invites Singapore-based companies to invest in India, says both nations keen on expanding partnership, launches mobile payments app of Bheem, RuPay and SBI app. BJP and allies win by-polls to 2 Lok Sabha and 1 Assembly seat. Party retains Palghar Lok Sabha seat in Maharashtra, loses Kairana seat in UP. Ally NDPP registers massive win by 1.73 lakh votes on Nagaland parliamentary seat. In Karnataka, tussle over portfolios continues. Congress and JDS agree on sharing of some portfolios. JDS to retain finance, Congress to keep home ministry. And auction for Air India sell-off draws a blank. Government says no bids received for its 76% disinvestment of the airline company. India retained the tag of world's fastest growing major economy in the January-March quarter, surpassing China. For the whole of the 2017 and 18, India's GDP growth came in at 6.7. Here are the details. The Indian economy gained further momentum in January-March quarter, posting a robust GDP growth of 7.7%, well above China's 6.8% for the quarter ending in March. The growth figures for the fourth quarter are the highest since the demonetization in November 2016 and GST rollout in July 2017.
Very good growth in the fourth quarter on manufacturing and construction. Construction especially 11.5% on the back of the negative growth in the quarter fourth last year. So manufacturing at 9.1% and construction at 11.5% is the big story, which also indicate to my mind the turnaround in the economy, which going forward would also give a good momentum to the growth. So all numbers good. The rest of the economy, agriculture also did very well in the quarter fourth.
The agriculture sector grew at 4.5%, while manufacturing sector registered 9.1% and construction at 11.5%. Rapid growth in various sectors contributed to the overall growth. India has regained its status as the fastest growing major economy in the world in the October-December quarter. Its GDP or gross domestic product growth fell to a 3-year low of 5.7% in the April-June quarter due to destocking in a run-up to the 1st July launch of the goods and services tax. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV. On to some more news. Results to the by-polls of 4 Lok Sabha seats and 10 assembly constituencies were declared today. The Kairana Lok Sabha seat was claimed by RLD, while the Bhandara Gondia seat in Maharashtra was taken by NCP. Here is a full report.
Results of by-polls to 4 Lok Sabha seats and 10 assembly constituencies were declared on Thursday. The BJP won 2 Lok Sabha seats and 1 assembly seat. The results threw up some interesting facts, not the least being the victory margins for the 4 Lok Sabha seats. In Nagaland, the BJP ally, the NDPP, won the seat with a huge majority of over 1.73 lakh votes, defeating the opposition NPF candidate. On the other hand, in UP's Kairana constituency, the united opposition candidate could win by less than half of this margin against her BJP rival. In Maharashtra, both the BJP and the Shiv Sena had contested the elections to the 2 Lok Sabha seats in the state, contesting separately this time. The BJP won the Palghar seat, defeating the Shiv Sena by nearly 30,000 votes. The NCP took the other Bhandara Gondia seat in the state by nearly a similar margin. And in the assembly elections, BJP retained its Tharali assembly seat in Uttarakhand, where its candidate defeated Congress nominee by 1,981 votes. In other assembly by-polls, the Congress won the Palouse Kadegaon seat in Maharashtra, Ampati in Meghalaya and Shahkot in Punjab. The Samajwadi Party won the Noorpur assembly seat, beating its nearest BJP rival by a margin of 5,662 votes. From Jokihat in Bihar, the RLD won the assembly by-poll by beating the JDO candidate. Sibu Soren's JMM registered victories in Gomia and Sili seats. The JMM was supported by Congress and other opposition parties in the assembly by-polls. In Kerala, CPIM-led ruling LDF retained the Chenganur seat, and in West Bengal, the Trinamool Congress won the Maheshtala assembly by-poll, defeating its nearest rival, the BJP, by a margin of 62,831 votes. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And the Grand Opposition Alliance of Samajwadi Party, BSP, Congress and RLD has won the by-poll to Kairana Lok Sabha constituency in Uttar Pradesh. While this win is being claimed by the opposition as a pointer towards taking on the BJP in the next year's Lok Sabha polls, let's take a look at the voter arithmetic to see how big this is a loss for the BJP.
RLD's Tabassum Hassan won the Kairana Lok Sabha poll on Thursday, defeating her nearest rival Mriganka Singh of BJP by 44,618 votes. This was one by-poll which was not only keenly contested, but also keenly watched by all. It was an electoral battle between BJP and a grand alliance of 4 political parties, RLD, Samajwadi Party, Bahujan Samaj Party and Congress. The combined opposition's candidate got 4,81,182 votes, which means around 52% of the total vote cast in the by-poll. This is an increase of just about 5% of the total votes polled by the candidates of these 4 opposition parties in 2014. BJP, though, lost the by-poll, but not much has changed for the party in terms of its vote share, despite facing a united opposition. Riding on the Modi wave in 2014, BJP candidate got 50.5% of the votes polled. This number has come down by about 3% to 47.5% in this by-poll. When it comes to the winning margin, the united opposition's candidate has got 44,618 votes more than that of BJP, which is not considered by political observers as a significant victory margin for Lok Sabha elections. However, in 2014, BJP's candidate had secured a massive victory with a winning margin of 2,36,828 votes. In the 5 Lok Sabha polls held in last 2 decades, BJP has emerged victorious on Kairana seat twice, 1998 and 2014. The other 3 elections were won by constituents of the Grand Opposition Alliance, RLD in 1999 and 2004 and BSP in 2009. This clearly suggests that Kairana is not a traditional BJP stronghold. The votes polled by BJP in this by-poll and the victory margin of the opposition's united candidate also indicate that it has not been a one-sided electoral battle, with the BJP putting up a spirited fight in the face of a united opposition. Vishal Dahiya, Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, the Congress has won the Karnataka's Raja Rajeshwari Nagar Assembly constituency. Congress's N. Muniratna won over by 44,000 votes. Nearly 53% voter turnout was recorded in RR Nagar across 471 polling stations on May 28th. The polling on the seat was postponed by the Election Commission following the recovery of nearly 10,000 voter ID cards from a flat in the constituency in Karnataka's capital, Bengaluru.
आप कृपया करके बाय इलेक्शन को बैरोमीटर मानते हैं, हम बड़े इलेक्शन को बैरोमीटर मानते हैं। इसलिए मैंने 1 साल में 5-6 जगह की बात कही, उसका हम विस्तार से विचार करेंगे, लेकिन हमारा पूरा ईमानदारी से कहना है कि मोदी सरकार ने जो काम किया है उसका इम्पैक्ट जनता महसूस कर रही है।
ये शुरुआत 2019 की है। पालघर में हमने हमारी ताकत दिखाई है।
तो आप कॉन्फिडेंट हैं?
बीजेपी की जीत जो है, ये जीत का मायने ये नहीं रखता कि आप 2019 में महाराष्ट्र जीत लेंगे। महाराष्ट्र हम ही जीतेंगे।
ये बात गलत है कहना कि ये सिर्फ विपक्ष इकट्ठा हो गया उस वजह से वो हारे। बीजेपी के खुद की वोट में गिरावट है भारी, और उसका मतलब है कि उनका जनाधार कमज़ोर होते जा रहा है। ये देश के लिए अच्छा है।
अगर अपोजिशन इकट्ठी होती है तो हम इस बहुत सीरियस राइवल और जगह ले सकते हैं बीजेपी की। सिर्फ जगह लेने के लिए नहीं, क्योंकि जो वायदे इन्होंने नहीं किए और लोग सफ़र कर रहे हैं उनको पूरा करने।
And these were the reactions from the leaders of different political parties on the bipoll results. Moving on, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday invited Singapore-based companies to invest in India, saying that almost all sectors of India have been open for FDI. Pitching India to Singaporean companies, Prime Minister Modi said, India now has vastly improved in its ease of doing business and living. For the last leg of his three-nation tour in the ASEAN region, Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrived in Singapore on Thursday. He held a roundtable interaction with major companies and addressed the Indian diaspora and local business people.
For Singapore, there is no better opportunity than India. Few countries have so much in common and so much in potential as India and Singapore. We mirror each other in our societies and we wish the same future for our region. We pursue a world based on rule of law and connected by open seas and a stable trade regime.
Complimenting Singapore, Prime Minister Modi termed it virtually as a gateway to ASEAN for India. The Prime Minister said India has reviewed the comprehensive partnership between the two countries and intends to upgrade it further. He said India is also working to finalize regional comprehensive partnership with ASEAN.
In India, the present is changing rapidly. A new India is taking place, and there are many reasons for it. One, economic reforms are taking place at a speed and a scale not known so far. Over 10,000 measures by central and state governments in the last 2 years have helped us move up to 42 places in the ease of doing businesses. Over 1,400 outdated laws have been repealed. India is among the most open economies in the world. Foreign investors can go into almost all sectors, often with up to 100% equity.
While lauding the development of Singapore as a major landmark, Prime Minister Modi termed business to be at the heart of the bilateral relations.
It is a relationship that truly meets the test of strategic partnership. When India opened up the world and turned to the east, Singapore became a partner and a bridge between India and ASEAN. Political relations between India and Singapore are among the warmest and closest. There are no contents or claims or doubts. It is a natural partnership from a shared vision. Our defense relations are among the strongest for both. My armed forces speak with great respect and admiration for Singaporeans' armed forces. India's longest continuous naval exercise is with Singapore. They are making their silver jubilee now. We are proud to host Singapore's Army and Air Force for training in India.
Prime Minister Modi also used the occasion to promote 3 mobile apps, Bheem app, SBI app and RuPay app to connect common Singaporeans with the Indian banking system. This is the second official visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Singapore. He was in Malaysia and Indonesia before reaching Singapore.
Congratulations.
Akhilesh Suman's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Thank you very much, Mr. Soma Prasad.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi also visited the India-Singapore Enterprise and Innovation Exhibition being held at Marina Bay Sands Convention Centre. The exhibition showcased innovation in frontier technologies, including artificial intelligence, fintech, cybersecurity, data analytics, blockchain, and innovation for social impact. The exhibition was put up jointly by Indian and Singaporean companies. Prime Minister Modi was being led on a tour of the exhibition where he was informed about the innovative technologies and equipment on the display at the exhibition. Singaporean Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong accompanied Prime Minister Modi at the exhibition. And before reaching Singapore, Prime Minister Narendra Modi was in Malaysia for a brief stopover this morning. There he met Prime Minister Mahathir bin Mohamad, Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Wan Azizah, and congratulated the new Malaysian leadership. Mahathir Mohamad was sworn in as Malaysia's Prime Minister on May 10th after leading the opposition alliance to a stunning election victory over Barisan Nasional Coalition, which had ruled Malaysia since 1957. Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Mahathir discussed ways to deepen the India-Malaysia bilateral relationship in a range of areas, including trade and investment. Meanwhile, Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ravish Kumar said that the two leaders had a productive exchange of views on strengthening strategic partnership. Prime Minister Modi also tweeted, "Glad to have met Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. I thank him for the warm welcome. We had productive discussions on further cementing India-Malaysia ties." Meanwhile, Deputy Prime Minister of Malaysia, Dr. Wan Azizah, also called on Prime Minister Modi during Prime Minister's brief stopover in Kuala Lumpur. MEA said good discussion took place to take the relationships to the newer heights. On to some more news which happened through the day. After days of hectic negotiations, both JDS and Congress have finalized the portfolio sharing agreement in Karnataka. Karnataka Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy said details on the Congress-JDS government's cabinet expansion and portfolio allocation is likely to be made public on Friday. Sources have told the PTI that it has been decided that the Finance Ministry will go to the JDS and Home Ministry to the Congress. Sources said that Congress Chief Rahul Gandhi is on board on the issue and has spoken to leaders on phone from the United States. There are 34 cabinet portfolios in Karnataka, out of which 22 will be from Congress and 12, including the Chief Minister, from the JDS. And a major setback for Air India as it received zero bidders on the last day of its auction on Thursday. The government said no initial bids were received for the proposed strategic stake sale of the debt-laden airlines. Civil Aviation Secretary R.N. Chaube said that the alternative mechanism headed by the Finance Minister would decide on the further course of action on the Air India disinvestment. The government announced on March 28th its plans to sell up to 76% of the carrier. The ailing airline's total debt stood at over 48,000 crore rupees at the end of March 2017. And on to the latest from Nipah virus, which has claimed another life in Kerala, with the death toll rising to 16. 18 people tested positive for the Nipah virus so far, of whom 16 have died and 2 are undergoing treatment, according to the Health Department. Amid fears that the virus has spread to other states, several state governments have issued a public advisory urging people of their state to take necessary precautions. Utilizing the full potential of river for transport of goods by developing inland waterways remains one of the key agenda of the Narendra Modi government. The government got the National Waterways Act 2016 passed by the Parliament to facilitate the creation of 111 national riverways across the country. As per the reports, 10 out of the total 111 proposed waterways are to become operational by the end of 2018. RSTV traced the steps taken by the government to promote this sunrise sector.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi and French President Emmanuel Macron's boat trip in Ganga River in Varanasi was perhaps more than just optics. It reinforced government's seriousness in harnessing inland waterways for commercial purposes. During old days, different river systems around the country were used to ferry passengers and goods. But with the advent of railroad network, water transport gradually lost its relevance, though now its fortunes are on upswing. The current regime moves to exploit full potential of this sector. Currently, work is on to develop 111 national waterways, including 106 new routes. Sectors related to heavy machinery, cement and fertilizers have evinced keen interest to utilize the facilities once the infrastructure is in place. As per the projections, this sector will create more than 1 lakh jobs in near future.
49% कैपिटल इन्वेस्टमेंट रोजगार निर्माण करने पे खर्चा होती है और वहाँ के युवाओं को रोजगार मिलेगा। दूसरा, वहाँ फिशिंग बढ़ेगा। फिशिंग से भी हमारे मच्छीमार जो है उनको फ़ायदा होगा और उसके साथ साथ उसके रोड के बाजू में इंडस्ट्री आएगी, गोडाउन्स आएंगे, प्रीकूलिंग प्लांट आएंगे, कोल्ड स्टोरेज आएंगे, फ्रूट्स वेजिटेबल एक्सपोर्ट होंगे। एक नया दालन विकास का खुलेगा और मुझे लगता है कि ये बहुत बड़ा गेम चेंजर होगा।
The inland waterways sector remained on back burner since independence. Till 11th plan, it received a meager rupees 1200 for the development. Though now with renewed focus on the sector, the government has allowed Waterways Authority of India to issue bonds worth rupees 1000 crore to rejuvenate it. During 2016-17, the authority raised rupees 340 crores through bonds. The additional fund of rupees 296 crores were given by the government. The budget allocation to the sector is now witnessing consistent spike. While it was earlier rupees 434 crores in 2017-18, it has been raised to rupees 500 crore currently.
हम लोगों ने ऑलरेडी काम शुरू कर दिया है और तकरीबन 18% काम इस पूरे इतने बड़े प्रोजेक्ट का ग्राउंड पर चालू हो चुका है.
India has 14,500 kilometer long waterways. They consist of rivers, lakes and backwaters. The current focus of the government is to invest in the most profitable routes. They are Barak in Assam, Hagra in Uttar Pradesh, Kosi in Bihar, Manvi, Juvri and Kambarjua in Goa, and Sundarban in West Bengal. There is special focus to develop national waterways, one from Haldia to Allahabad on the lines of dedicated freight corridor. Rupees 5,369 crores have been allocated to create the necessary infrastructure. This project is also receiving financial and technical inputs from the World Bank.
बहुत बड़ा इंजीनियरिंग प्रोजेक्ट हम लोग कर रहे हैं, बड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स और चैलेंजिंग प्रोजेक्ट है. 2000 करोड़ का प्रोजेक्ट ऑलमोस्ट ग्राउंड पे है 5400 में से. ये 4 साल में स्टडीज हुई, क्लियरेंसेस हुए, फाइनेंस का क्लियरेंस हुआ, वर्ल्ड बैंक का अप्रूवल हुआ, कैबिनेट कमेटी का अप्रूवल हुआ और ग्राउंड पे काम शुरू हो गया है.
Currently the work is on in full swing in National Waterways 4. This route was inaugurated by Honorable Vice President Venkaiah Naidu last year. In India, the inland waterways cargo shipping remains grossly underutilized. It has less than 1% of market share compared to railroad network. Many countries, including Bangladesh, are way ahead of India on this count. The green shoots are now visible due to active government intervention. In 2014-15, the cargo shipment through inland waterways was 6.33 million tons. It has touched 55.20 million tons in recent times.
हमारी सरकार ने हाईवे, रेलवे, एयरवे, वाटरवे, हाईवे और बिजली से जुड़े इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पर सबसे अधिक ध्यान दिया है. देश के जल शक्ति का भी पूरा इस्तेमाल करने पर जोर दिया जा रहा है. देश में 100 से ज्यादा नए वाटरवेज बनाए जा रहे हैं. यहां यूपी में ही गंगा जी में जहाज चलने लगे हैं, गंगा जी के माध्यम से यूपी सीधा सीधा समंदर से जुड़ने वाला है.
As per the report, the inland waterways outscores railroad network when it comes to economy of construction, movement and cargo shipping. A strong barrage can carry 15 rail wagon or 60 trucks. Keeping in mind the accruing benefits, the government plans to ensure at least 2% market share for the inland waterways in the cargo transport. To ensure this, it's also adding rolling stock like ships and barges on the focused route. Inland waterways has huge potential for tourism. Activities like river cruise, boating, water sports can be major economic spin-off in the chosen region. The Parliamentary Committee on Transport Tourism has thrown its weight behind the development of this sector, which could also be a major hub of job creation. Arvind Kumar Singh's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And some more developments. Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu has asked the Privileges Committee to investigate a case of breach of privilege against Rajya Sabha member V. Vijay Sai Reddy. The case was sent to the committee at the request of the Speaker of the Andhra Pradesh Assembly. The complaint was forwarded by the Andhra Pradesh MLA V. Anita. The matter pertains to some comments made by Sai Reddy against the Andhra Pradesh Speaker. It has been referred to the committee under the Rule 203 of the Rajya Sabha headed by P.J. Kurian. And now the international news. US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and North Korea's former military intelligence chief opened talks on Thursday to try to salvage the upcoming summit between President Donald Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. US President Donald Trump informed the media that the talks were going well and that North Korean officials may come to Washington on Friday with a letter from Kim. And that's all we have for you in this edition of News Tonight. But before we go, let us take a look at all the weather updates and heat wave conditions. Thank you for watching.